Hello, in this video we're going to go over how to make a signature application in Python and save the signature as a image. So the user will be able to write their name or signature, and then they will be able to save it as an image. So first thing we need to do is import libraries. So we need Tkinter. From Tkinter import all, okay, and we also need the pill image, the pill library, the photo image library, or Python image library. It's one of them. I think it's Python image library, but I'm not too sure. So we're gonna do image, comma image draw, okay. There it is. There. If you have trouble installing pill, install pillow instead, and then import pill. It should work for you. Anyway, first thing we need to do is create the Tkinter frame and canvas. Okay. So first thing we do is make the Tkinter window, and then we're gonna name it something nice like signature, please. Okay, so we do that, and then we are making our canvas. Now the canvas is quite important. So what we're doing here in this application is we have essentially two images where, well, not two images, two images, well, for two images we're actually going to be drawing on. So we're going to be drawing on the canvas, and we're also going to be drawing on a pill image as well. Now, why are we bothering with that? Why are we doing that? Well, pill images can't be displayed to the user, so they can't be they can't be written upon by the user. So we can't really just use that. So we're going to be using the Tkinter canvas in order for the user to be able to see what they're drawing. But since the canvas, you can't actually save what's in the canvas, we have to use the pill image in order to save. So what we're doing is mapping what happens on the canvas on the pill image. So anyway, so we do CSV, that's what our canvas is going to be called. We're going to do canvas, comma, TK, which is the frame. Width, now I like to do 500 by 500. However, you can do whatever size you want, provided you keep it consistent. So, and then we're just going to do csv.pack to put it into our frame there. So, next thing we're going to do is, not CVS, CSV. For goodness sake. CVS. Why am I calling it CSV? Oh, CSV files. Oh, right. Okay, right. Well, right. Well, it's CVS. Okay, don't get it confused like me. So anyway, define internal pill image. This is what I was talking about. So we're actually gonna have like two images almost. So image. This is gonna be our pill image, and it's gonna be image.new. Okay. And it's going to we need to use RGB values now. Our signature will just be white. It'll be black ink on a white background, but we have to use RGB in order to define the background color. So the next parameter is a tuple taking two values, which has the width and the height. So our width and height is 500 by 500. Now, if you want to change the size of the window, you're going to need to update both of these values, the corresponding value. Because we're going to be mapping, and if one image is bigger than the other, you can imagine that there will be complications there. And then finally, we're passing in a parameter with our background color, which can be 255, 255, 255, which in RGB is white. So the next thing we're going to do is going to define draw. Now we just have to do this. This is sort of like an internal memory thing. We're going to be just going to draw up the image, which just means we're going to load the image essentially. So right now our pill image is like a white square essentially. Then we're going to define our boolean value for mouse button pressed. Mouse button pressed. So we're just going to simply call it mouse button. No, mouse press, even, that would be better. Equals false. So it's false. So it's incorrect. No, well, false. And then last. So yeah. So don't want to get ahead of myself. So yeah, that's gonna tell us whether or not the left click button's been pressed. So we're going to be doing a bit of event-driven programming here. Now we're also going to need a variable called last, and this is going to store the coordinates of the last pixel touched by the not pixel, the last XY coordinate touched by the mouse. And obviously, whenever you first load the program, we don't know what that is. So it's going to be none. Okay. Anyway, then we're going to define our three events. So there's only three real states that the mouse button can be, the mouse and the mouse button can be in. It's when the left click button is in this program. So it's going to be whenever the left click button is pressed. So first function is going to be pressed. The other two is going to be released whenever it's actually let go, and the last bit is when it's moving. So this function is going to be called upon left clicking, and it's going to have we call it press, and it's going to take the parameters event, EVT, but we're not going to be using those, the EVT. You just have to have it. You have to accept it if it's going to be an event, if it's going to be called in response to an event, essentially. So anyway, global mouse pressed. So we're just going to make the our mouse pressed variable global. Okay, that's going to tell all the functions that mouse pressed is. Yep, it's going to be there, and it's going to be true. Okay, so now we've said, look, so we said to all the other functions, yep, mouse pressed, it has been pressed, that is true. Okay, so that's all that's going to do for us. The next is going to be called upon release of left click. Okay, and it's going to be called released. Release, yeah. And it's going to be EVT again, but we're not going to be using that. And for me, for this tutorial, we're just going to be saving the image as soon as the left click is released. And we're going to save it as an image, not PNG, and we're going to destroy the window. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why am I doing that? Why am I just going to destroy the window and save the image and destroy the window when the user releases their left click? Well, the reason why is because typically, whenever you write your signature, your pen doesn't leave the page once you start writing. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going to happen when it's released. And then we're going to bind these functions onto the mouse. So this is what we're doing right now. So event bindings essentially. So cvs.bind. This will be bind to the canvas, because remember, the canvas is what the user can see, whilst the pill image is something that the user can't see. And we're just going to call it button press -1, because that's what it means, left click. That means left click, and we're binding that to press. Okay, and then we're going to do cvs.bind all button. Where is it now? There we go. Button released. Release -1. So left click's been released, and we're going to be calling release on that. Brilliant. So we've done that now. Now we're going to move on to the interesting bit, which is the drawing bit. So how does this work? How does the drawing work in my program? So what happens is every time the mouse changes, well, every time the mouse moves, changes XY coordinates, this function's going to be called, and it's going to draw a line between the previous XY coordinates the mouse was on and now the new one. So, but since this is going to be called so quickly, it's going to look like it's it's actually the mouse is writing. Well, ink's coming out of the mouse essentially. Anyway, so move open brackets EVT. Okay, global mouse pressed, comma last. So we're taking in our global variables there. So we're making last and mouse press global. Okay, if they aren't already. So x comma y is going to be event.x comma evt.y. Well, event.y. So we actually are going to be using the event parameter for this because we need to know where the mouse is. Okay, in these other two, we didn't actually need to know where the mouse was, because it's just testing if it was called or not. But this is going to be using where the mouse is, so that's why we have X and Y. So if mouse pressed, okay, now, so if we have got our left click been pressed, if left click has been pressed, right, okay, which will be true whenever this is called, we're going to have if last equals none. If last is none. Sorry. Last equals x comma y. Right now, last stores the last x and y. Well, the previous is a better word. Previous X and Y position of the mouse on the canvas. Okay, so there we go. Lovely jubbly. And we're going to do return. The reason why we need that is so if it's literally the first instance of the mouse being on the canvas whenever the left click's pressed, we need XY coordinates. So it's going to draw like a line to itself, which is going to make a dot. That's just what it is. Okay, we need that check. Okay, and then we're gonna do draw out of that if statement. We're gonna do draw line on draw line on canvas. Okay, let's do that now. So that's gonna be csv.create underscore line x comma y comma last square bracket 0, comma last square bracket 1. So what's that saying? I've done CSV, it should be CVS. Anyway, so what does this mean? Right, so that's going to create a line on the canvas with the newest x and y coordinates of the mouse and the last to the newest x and y coordinates of the mouse from the last mouse coordinates. Okay, and of course we're going to need to map that onto our pill image. This is where we're going to map it. So we're going to do draw.line. Okay, now as you remember, we defined draw up here as image draw, so we're loading this image in the memory and we're doing draw on it. We're going to say now we're going to need 3 brackets here, so hold on a minute. So in this most inner bracket, we're doing x comma y, okay, and then move out of the first bracket and then do comma last, okay, and then do comma and then space. Well, you don't need a space actually. Just do comma and then do since we're using black ink, we need to give the RGB value of black, which is 0, 0, 0. If you want red ink, for example, you'd do 255, 0, 0. But for most applications, you would be writing your signature in black ink. That's why we're using black. Okay. The last thing we have to do is update last, okay, to the new coordinates. So once the line is drawn, we update the coordinates. So now last is no longer none, and it's going to skip that, and it's just going to draw the line. Okay, and now the last bit is mapping this move function. So calls drawing function on mouse movement. So csv.bind all underscore all. Oh, forgot an underscore from this CVS even. Excuse me if I keep doing that. Remember to put an underscore in. Bind underscore all. Open bracket. Okay, so open bracket. Motion. So we're capturing the motion of the mouse. So this is going to be called every time the mouse moves, and it's going to be move. We're going to just call the function move. Okay. And then the last thing we have to do is simply end the Tkinter frame and the Tkinter thing. So there we go. That's the code there. So whenever the button's released, we're going to save the image as image.ping. Okay, and I'm going to destroy the Tkinter window. So I'm on a trackpad. This is a laptop. So hold on. Type module object is not callable. Why is that? I wonder. Draw equals image. Where is that? Line 12, is it? Draw equals image. It's because I've done image draw. Okay. So image draw. Sorry, image draw.draw. Okay, sorry about that. Let me run that again. Okay, sorry about that. Easy mistake to make. So right now, I'm on a trackpad, by the way, so my handwriting won't be the best, but if you have a touch-enabled device, you can use your finger, which is what you would normally use, not your mouse, for this. But anyway, so right now, I've not left-clicked into this, and I can freely drag my mouse about, and it won't record my movements. However, when I left-click in, okay, we've started the ink. Here it is. So now I'm going to try and do my name. Okay, well again, I'm not very good at signature. I don't even have a signature. Okay, that's as best as we're going to get. So whenever I release my left click, I'm still holding it right now, but whenever I release, oh, no attribute destroy. Okay, it's because I've missed something there. tk.destroy. It does. Have I spelled destroy wrong? Might have done that actually. tk.destroy itself. That's what we want to do. Did I spell it wrong? I forgot the R. I messed up the R and the O. Okay, lovely. Brilliant. Okay. Right, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to have to do that again for you all, nice people. So, sorry about that. Again. Anyway, we're all human. B. A. Right, there. Right, there we go. Process venue exit code 0. Brilliant. Okay. So, as you can see in my directory here, we've got image.ping. So, go to folder. And then, here we go. If I open that up, we've got my lovely handwriting there. But obviously, if you were making this, you would have like a touch-enabled device in order to write your signature properly. But anyway, yep, that's essentially it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.